All right. Good morning, everyone. You're about all plugged in. Hmm. How was everyone today? We're gonna get going. We got a roommate today. Doggo is in the office, and it sounds like she wants out, but the wife doesn't want her out. So she gets to stay with us for a bit. If she gets too loud, let me know. Um, oh, might be. Hold on. All right. Yeah, this room echoes, so we'll see. Morning, cat peasant. How are you? Let's see. Where did we leave off yesterday? I broke this down a little bit further. Let me give this a build again. Hey, morning, Eddie. I'm doing well, thank you. I actually woke up before my alarm went off today. I gotta move a 50-pound bag real quick. Give me 1 minute. Hey, morning. All right. You got that too today? You on duty with the kids last night? Yeah. It's interesting. We do have goats, and so it's about milking time. All right. So last night we were looking at some of this, and I wanted to make some notes as this information kind of came back to me. So in this case, well, specifically, I wanted to know how often we were getting things that are shared. Oh, your kid loves goat milk. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's different, especially if you get it fresh. If you get it, oh yeah, goat cheese, feta. Oh my goodness, there's so many good ones. Halloumi. Oh, halloumi. Halloumi is a good one, especially when you like marinate it and then grill it. Dogs. Any blue ones? The goats? Blue goats? No, we don't have any blue goats. Or blue cheese. We don't make blue cheeses, usually. And if we're trying to make pizza, we'll just toss mozzarella together, like a quick mozzarella. If we don't have mozzarella on hand. Because we only get so much, and the kids drink a lot of it. So, one of the little bits that I've been... blue cheese comes from blue goats. Yes, and milkshakes. Doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Alright, as we go through this, let's see, let's close off. Oh, I'm in the wrong browser. Alright. Close off that one. Here, okay. We have ref. We got a couple of these open, which is probably a good thing. I'm going to move them to like position 5 over here so we can get to them easy. So main loop is not reference counted. So what is the best thing to do for something like this? We'll get a ref of a main loop, which is what we're getting here. And it's a shared reference, and we can see that here. This is all compiling, or at least the compiler is not whining about this portion of it. And this seems correct, right? Now is the correct thing here, after we have a main loop, to assume safe on it? I just want to verify that I'm doing this sort of thing, right? And this is a manually managed type, meaning that it is like a raw pointer. It is not reference counted. We have a shared version. They can't be used directly. Instead, it's required to obtain a safe view first. See obtaining a safe view section below. Oh, I have the starting. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. I absolutely forgot all about that. Billiar, how you doing? So we're going to look and see if we're doing this right. Obtaining a safe view. In a lot of cases, references obtained from the engine as return values or arguments aren't safe to use, which is what we got. Right? Due to the lack of pointer validity and thread safety guarantees in the API, as such, it's usually required to use unsafe code to obtain a safe view of the same object before API methods can be called. All right, now we have shared, and we can assume safe. Notes here, the underlying object must be valid and exclusive to this thread during A. I don't know if that's the case. Are there any more docs here? There is. Assume safe. Assume that self is safe to use, returning a reference that can be used to call API methods. All right, guarantee to be a no-op if debug assertions are disabled. Safety. Suppose that a lifetime is returned. Lifetime of the returned reference is A. It is safe to call assume safe only if during the entirety of A, the underlying object will be valid. Well, in this case, it will be because it's a main loop. That's not going away. If that goes away, the engine's shutting down. It's always true for reference countertypes. Okay. Yep, and we don't do anything that actually frees it. During the entirety of A, the thread from which assume safe is called has exclusive access to the underlying object. The part that gets me about this is that, well, something else could have access to the main loop and be doing things at the same time in a different thread. Oh, it's still at work, but okay. Start. Didn't I get? Oh my goodness. And thank you too. Yeah. Yeah, Cap hasn't had mentioned that, and I thought I clicked the button, but apparently I had the other message. Oh, the browser one? Oh, the browser warning. Ha. Okay. They're in the same spot in OBS, just on different scenes. Okay. And this is interesting because let's say you were in C++, what would you actually do for this? I think you'd do the same thing, but you would just use it. You wouldn't be worrying about these elements. All right, so in this case, we assume safe. We cast it to the scene tree, and we're going to cast it. There we go. Now for the root. We get that, we cast it. And here we have a tref, which is, what do they call tref in here? Temporary safe pointer. Temporary safe pointer, two Godot objects that track thread access status. Be coerced into bare references with dref. And if we look at dref, expand everything. My little messages closer together. There we go. Now I can see chat easier. We can just dereference that right away. It can just be deref. Okay. Now in that case, we get the root off of the viewport. So the scene tree, we ask for its root, and that should give us a viewport. Let's do scene tree root. That takes us right to it. That returns an option ref viewport shared. Okay. So now we're back to the first case where we've gotten something from the engine, a viewport, and this viewport, is it not reference counted? Okay. Which means we have to assume safe on that in order to get the path and the node. Now, why do we do the assume safe followed by a claim? I don't know if we need to do that. The assume safe is going to give us the tref. Otherwise, that should be a ref. Let's actually switch that. Let's Follow the same pattern as before, ending in the expect Godot. Oh, finally, I got the mosquito that was flying around in here. This is like my mosquito-free zone, and one had made it in. I'm really happy that it's not an issue now. Okay, so now we have that. I think it would be nice to see if we could move. Let's see, let's close that. Where were we calling this? Was it in net? I think it was in net. Oh yes, that's where the error is. I think it'd be nice to be able to say, also cast this as part of the singleton, because most of the time I'm not really interested in what kind of what the node has to offer. I'm interested in the script that's attached to the node. Well, let's move this up. I'm curious to see if that will cause issues on the other side with its invoked referred. Oh, which it definitely will. Because you need the node for that. You need the Godot object for that. We're going to do a singleton node on that. All right. Singleton node. Then we'll toss singleton on there as well. And pull into node path. This isn't going to be a node share. This is going to be whatever the type is. Oh, interesting. And if we do that, let's go back to ref. Cast instance gives us the base class of the script. Not necessarily safe to use directly. All right. Is instance sane returns true if the pointer currently points to a valid object of the correct type. This does not guarantee that it's safe to use this pointer. Right. And then this try cast instance. What is? And cast refers to actually the Godot types, not the script types. And cast instance is to these quote-unquote scripts. All right. We could just do that. Instance of C. What is? Persistent reference to a Godot object with a Rust native class attached. Otherwise, use assume safe to obtain a temporary ref instance. Oh, interesting. And then you can decouple it and split these up. Okay, I remember a little bit of this. That's right. I've been doing this a while ago when modifying the examples. Got it. All right. So first we'll get the singleton node, give it the path. It's fine. Cast instance on that. Why do we have to give that an argument? Oh, doesn't the compiler not mind the safety aspect since you're in an unsafe function, which means that you're saying to the compiler, trust me, this is safe? It doesn't mind the safety aspect. Like, it'll trust you on lifetimes and some other things. But it won't give on types. So pointer stuff, you get full reign on that. And let's see, cast instance. Let's see, are we coming off of a tier? We're coming off of one of these, aren't we? Oh, we have to give it the C there. Okay. All right, now we should still get an error, but this time because return to. Ah, we have to assume safe on this in order to call cast instance. Oh, interesting. All right, and that's for thread access. What about how many of these are there? I think there's just one, isn't there? You can only have one on there. And this is in the section here where access is thread access. We actually have to go to thread access in order to get that. All right. There's my table. Oh, it's at the top. So we have shared. We're trying to go to thread. Shared thread. Assume thread local. The reference must be local to the current thread. Calling assume thread local when there are references in other threads is an instant undefined behavior. Not just an undefined behavior, but an instant one. Should be used with care. I see. Because what we have is a manually managed shared object. Because it's a node. It's in the scene graph. Which I mean it's manually managed. All the other types seem to be reference counted. So why is it that this cast instance wants it to be thread local? probably because these have to be. I don't know. Axis is thread axis. T is a Godot object. Try to parameterize over the axis markers. Oh, thread axis. It doesn't actually. Was I reading that wrong? Okay, that might make more sense if I'm reading that wrong. Or axis is thread axis. What do the other ones look like? You have axis, thread axis. Let's close that again. Thread axis. This one doesn't have it. This is just for shared. Methods for references that point to valid objects, but are not necessarily safe to use. All refs are to reference kind of types, always point to valid objects. Refs to manually manage types are only guaranteed to be valid if unique. And in our case, they're not. So we could do a assume thread local on that and then cast instance. Oh, that's not found for node. Ref node. Assume thread local is not for ref shared. I thought that it was. Assume thread local shared. Yeah, ref kind is ref counted. Okay, so that doesn't work there. Huh. And it's already assumed safe. If we look up above, can we get a node back? It's a ref node. Going to be shared in this case, which is the default. So how do we get to cast instance on this? Oh. Expand everything again. Cast instance. into thread local. That's for unique. We don't have unique. I mean, we might be able to assume unique. Let's see, which group is this in? It's ref shared, so we could probably assume unique on that. Assume that self is unique reference to the underlying object. Guaranteed to be a no-op. Okay. Okay. So we can only cast the instance if it's unique. So hold on. What did that do? That gave us ref unique. And ref unique brought us over here so that we could call cast instance, but oh, sorry, I lost the block. Okay, here. All right, refs to manually manage objects which are only guaranteed to be valid if unique. Okay, so we actually went this way instead of trying to coerce this one. All right, we'll get there. All right, and that's going to be option instance T unique. Oh, native class not implemented for T? All right, trait bound T for native class not satisfied. Unsafe singleton, yada yada. The return type native class is not implemented for T. Okay. Getting closer. No method named assume safe found on that. Ah, that's not the error we're looking for. One above it is. Type mismatch resolving T as native class base node. So here they're checking to see that the native class's base is a node. Consider constraining expected associated type construct node. Huh. Oh, I see. We have to constrain the associated trait type. So for native class, let's see. All right. Where T is native class and T base is node. It's not a trait. Consider constraining associated type T base to node. Oh, I see. We have to do that a different way. Is it like that? Okay, that is it. So where the base of that type is exactly node, it'll be constrained there. Then we can call the cast on it, which will give us the instance unique. Now we have scene manager. Net. If we were in net. All right, we're going to rearrange these a little bit. Take that off there. We'll get the singleton. Or did I just get rid of the, we don't need to cast it anymore. No method named send core found for instance on that. So it's a unique instance. All right, let's look at instance now. Oh, that's right. Do we have to do the map bit on it? We do. Okay, so we'll do the map on it. Where F, it's T and Tref. T is the user data. And otherwise it's the node that it's attached to. Okay. I should map it. Oh, type annotations needed for and T. Interesting. Why doesn't it know the type of that? Where are we stripping that? T should be passed in through here. We get T back in the return type. Expect Godot. That's returning T. In this case, we need to flatten and what is it doing? Okay, so we have result. Local cell error. GD native core user data. Okay. Oh, is that something that's actually returned from map? Oh, here, which is the local cell error. Got it. So we actually need to handle that for send. Map error. Now in this case, if we get, well, I don't know if we can get the error back out of that. It's that outer layer that we actually need to get rid of. And that's because of the map. Wait, where does the second result come from? Is it send core? Oh, it's probably send core. Yes, there it is. Interesting. Is there a flatten on result? I mean, it doesn't make sense really, but we do have one. Nightly only. What does it do? Okay, and the error types would actually have to be the same. All right, so let's handle this ourselves. Because if sent, no, we want that type. We just don't want the outer type. So in this case, if match this, oops, can't do that. Match this. And in this case, we get that funky error, which is the local cell error. I'm going to ignore that for a moment. And what we want to return from here is the actual message, if we can. But it might have already gone to the other object. So we're going to have a lifetime issue there. Yeah, that's already been moved. And the type there is what? Local cell error. What is a local cell error? Oh, I see. So in this case, we're getting a local cell error because we might be invoking this across threads. All right, and what if we used something else like mutex data? So this is for net. Oh, where's net? Here. How do we actually declare that? Let's go back one. User data mutex data of hello world. Use net on that. Mismatch types. Lock failed. That's a better error. And the lock would fail when? If it was poisoned? And that already moved. All right. We could just bail on the return type there, but I was hoping to be able to give the message back. It's just kind of a nice to have, you know, like, oh, you tried to send this and it didn't work. Now, when is that going to fail? That's going to fail if map fails, right? We could try to move that closure out. Does it really need to be a closure? Can it be a local function? And when does it actually move? So the lifetime of a message, when does it actually get owned by this? By the closure. Call do send, we'll take net and net, because it's not like it's capturing any state outside. So I wonder what it'll tell us in a moment. Or we try to do this with that. Oh, but it takes 3 arguments. Oh, the self, the message, and the owner. Forgot about the message. Drat. Okay, can't do that. A result type with unit as the OK message otherwise. Can you actually do that? Let's see, could we say we wanted this here? Wow. I see, but now message is not being passed in. Oh, because, oh, I get it now. Message was being captured by the closure. It'd be nice if we could get the lock ahead of time. So there's a map on there, isn't there? So what else could we call in there? We have instance. Turns a reference to the script wrapper. Oh. Script probably isn't going to work there, but let's see, because what is our access here? Is it thread access? Hey, Acton Dev, good morning. Try out a different approach here. We're going to say net is equal to that. Oh yes, no return value yet. That's fine. Oh, and the match. All right, the type must be known at that point. Script. Type annotations needed for this. Oh, yes. Why didn't it tell us that before? Cannot provide explicit generic arguments when infiltrate is used as the argument position. Yes. We could define it over here. And in this case, what are we expecting? We are expecting instance T of unique. Yes. Good. That gives us its type. Oh, perfect. So now we have mutex data. User data, mutex data, net. Now we don't have that on there. Now we have to look at mutex data. What does that have? Map. Oh, we're back to map. Now let's expand those. We'll use plus, plus. Oh, I thought it could go a little bit further. Clone, clone from. So that's clone. There's debug. Map mutable. Yeah, and see, we're going to fall back into the same thing that we had before. But over here, no, we don't want to do that. Blanket implementations. Can we just borrow? It's not the same though. We need to call lock on it, and that's what map is doing for us, which is why we get the lock error. So I wonder why we're not allowed to do this. Consume user data, no. So in these cases, we are trying to lock, get the guard, and return the guard. Lycan 1534, thank you for the follow. You tried to implement that HRT thing. Higher rank types, right? Or is it types or traits? Quickly realized it would result in extra heap allocations, which would not be great in your case. Oh. Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. I see. So the reason here is that they have a deadlock policy. Timeout. That is an interesting setup. dynamic traits. I'm still trying to get through this stuff. This type state pattern. I need to become an expert on it. So, well, I need to become okay at it. Right now, I don't think I'm very good at it. And I think understanding this a bit more would help with what I'm currently going through, but not with the mutex bits. I'm wondering if having a function on mutex data would actually help in this case. Is this mutex? No, that's the wrong one. Because if there was a function on mutex data for locking that would provide with a similar API to mutex here, right, give me the lock result. That would be nice. All right, because I'm trying to avoid consuming data on there. You can see down here that message is actually getting consumed. Let me undo some of that. Because I would really like to be able to return something that looks like this, a result with unit or the message that you passed in. I want to give ownership of it back to you. I don't want to keep it forever. Or consume it, right? No, I should be able to give it back if I don't consume it. And in this case, we have send core. I mean, where I'm... We could just consume it and say, hey, you're out of luck. You just lost that into the ether. So if the lock fails, we do something else. Just unit that. But then this one doesn't match. We could try to implement lock on mutex data. Let's try that. We get the mutex data here. Script on lock. Probably an unwrap on it too. Just toss it on there. Then we have script core, yada yada. Okay. Oh, I got the Raspberry Pi today. My last one had become a development environment for my kid. So, our kids. So we'll see how that goes. But I got a replacement. I got the 8 gigabyte one, the Pi 4 with 8 gigs of RAM. I'm gonna try to get that up and running today. I want to see if Godot will run on it. I think it'll compile, and if this might be an interesting point in the life cycle of Raspberry Pi, because I think they just got what was it, OpenGL or GLES 3 or OpenGL 3.1 on this, because the was it Visual Core 6 supports it. That, and there's been work done on the Mesa drivers to provide that interface to this. You bought a game shell, but haven't actually got it up and running yet. A Pi with all that, yes, the Game Boy-esque form factor. And it runs like MAME or something, right? That's pretty cool. Yeah, once Vulcan's in there, oh my goodness, and they've passed what 500,000 tests of the Vulcan like thing, but are still a long ways off. And all right, we're gonna go off to GD native land. Git fetch GD native. Mutex data lock. Restore test. Yeah, everything in there. All right. Close all of those. Let's see. Mutex data. Mutex, anything? Wow. User data. Yeah, that's it. They've been making a lot of good progress on it. I think these little boxes are kind of going to come back into vogue soon. I think Raspberry Pi is just leading the charge. They are so powerful, and it's just bring your own keyboard and monitor and mouse. All right, so what are we doing here for this? In this case, we have the guard. Wait, could we do something similar where we just return the guard? And it's not like you can deref. Wait, do they implement deref on mutex? And what would they deref to? Probably not the mutex guard. Okay, mutex, right? So what's going on? I've got T, which is native class, and send. We have the lock options. Okay, and that receives a T, which we don't actually care about. Pull user data for mutex data. In this case, we're going to impl mutex data. All right. And this looks like it's just going to be call to the inner lock. So is it going to take a self? Probably. Return something, not sure yet. Self-lock lock. Okay, that'll give us a mutex guard. Lifetime R and T. What is R in this case? Mutex, we get a lock. So lock result. Oh, I see. Then we have try lock, attempts to acquire the lock. What were they doing before with the lock types, the deadlock policy? We could do something similar. I just don't want to lose the lock options on this, because if you say that you have a certain sort of locking policy, then it'd be nice for it to follow throughout. I really think it's just this. Okay. Expected T of that found mutex guard. Ah, yes. We do want to return the mutex card. What's it again? Lifetime raw mutex T? Oh, cycles detected. Self.lock. Self.lock lock. How's that a cycle? Oh, because it has to know what something is in order to define it. Which again requires processing of that to complete the cycle. I see. Oh, we don't have that. We don't have lifetime A. It always feels weird typing guard. Mutex guard. G-A-U-R-D. I don't know. Oh, they're using parking lot mutex. Oh. Is that at the same location? Okay, just not used yet. Cannot find type mutex guard. All right. That or a lock failed. Okay. That'll work there. Now let's go patch that up here. This is going to be self.lock question mark that. All right, let's try compiling this again. Oh, private field, not a method. Oh, it's waiting. It's waiting. What if there's a lifetime issue here? It should last as long as self does, so it should be okay. Okay, that leaks the type a little bit. I mean, it leaks the parking lot mutex guard out, but I mean, for me, it's worth it. You don't think it's a big deal? I appreciate that. Let's see, it acquires a mutex, blocking the current thread until it's able to do so. Something. Oh, no way. It built. Okay. Okay. Mutex data, yada yada. Send core. All right, net script. Now, if the lock fails, we actually want to handle that. Just match on this. What do we get back on that? That's the mutex card. Let's just call it script again. You don't need to implement any traits to use it and stuff. Yeah, it is. I think the only real difference is that you don't have to. The interface is different than standard because you don't have to unwrap it. It doesn't support poisoning, I guess, or not in the same way. All right. Oh, that's been a journey. Okay, if this works out, we're going to do a PR for this piece here. Where am I going? Godot. Oh, goodness, we're going to go to Godot again. The screen might go black for a moment. Oh, I can actually stop the automatic scene switcher and get that set up for a moment. Oh, it's already open. Okay. I still... Yeah. Godot. There you are. All right. The automatic scene switcher has saved my butt so many times. All right, so you can see the little game in the corner there. Click login. What? What happened? It did something. It wasn't doing anything before. Magic. All right, where are we here? Oh, did we actually get we got an error. You like magic, as long as it's not in the dark arts. Magic is just things that you don't understand, right? Like the way a gasoline engine works to the layperson, right? It's magic. Or even how a Tesla moves. Put batteries in it and it goes. Got it. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I love that quote. But yeah, I was thinking the same thing. All right, so in this case, net does not live long enough. Why? All right. Temporary access to borrow. Oh, let's create it here. Oh, I see. Do we actually need to call on toss the lock into a local? That's Mutix card. I don't know. It's a lock result. I don't like that name. Let's change it. Okay, there it actually built. Now I thought I had, yes, there. Okay, here's the Godot side. I'm gonna close that. Net channel closed, shutting down. Just a couple of those. Okay, there's some issue there. We'll get to that. Start it. Okay. Deferred go to scene. Exit. Oh, Godot just dumped. All right, so I get a stack trace here. Tiny free no lock. Some sort of comparator. Okay. Actually, but Godot's still running. I don't understand. Okay, let's close that. Oh, did it die while it was closing? Oh, it might have. All right. Anyhow, we're gonna get a little further. Yeah, it must have died when it's closing. All right, I'll deal with that later. All right, so we got login pressed, task spawned, awaiting response, connecting. Whoops. Okay response. I know my windows are all funky. Deferred go to scene exit. All right. Let's figure out what this deferred go to scene is doing. Let's go back to that's Genie Native Core. Let's see what that's on terminal 4. This one's on 3. Okay, we'll go between 3 and 4. Ooh, Vim's in a bad state. Control L's not helping either. Might be better now. Let's go back to login. Oh, we got the OK response. Oh, beautiful. Oh, CM Griffing, how's it going? It's one of Arthur C. Clarke's laws of writing science fiction. Oh, that's awesome. That's cool. So we got that. Let's go to 4. We got the OK response. And thread ID, which we'll see in the other thread. Okay, so it's coming back in from a different thread called deferred go to scene, which is here. which is why we see the thread ID. All right, and the scene path doesn't seem to be coming through correctly. Because at this point, let's see, we should see that. Scenes welcome.tscn. Is that not existing? Does it not? Let's go check it in Godot. File system. Just haven't made it this far before. Welcome tscn. Check the scene. All right, we've got a couple scripts on here. Oh, it's going back to login. Why does login welcome look the same? Oh, it's just going back to the buttons. Okay, it's not supposed to go there. It's supposed to go when you log in. Oh, we didn't port the other UIs yet. I see. So it just goes back to welcome. Fine. My next question, though, is login actually happening? It seems like I don't think it is. All right, let's dig through this. That's amazing. Okay, so we have async beside GD native, like Godot, Rust. Oh, you can't hear the audio, but lurking away. Extend a view can. Oh, well, thank you. Okay. We're sending this net connect, and that's it. We just connect. Yeah, that just gets the global singleton element. I don't know if I like this pattern here. I mean, this here, I think is okay. Right? It looks just static, and behind the scenes, it's going to do the right thing. And it's better than trying to dump this sort of thing everywhere. Because even getting the singleton, we still have to call the mutex on it, and that might be specific to, it might be different for different scripts. All right. I want to see what they think. Where is it? 4? No. 2? No. 1? I have too many windows open. 5. It's in 5. Okay. Let's give it a test. So we'll do the test, the Clippy and whatnot. Maybe send out that PR. And the nice thing about this is it enables us not to capture that, not to own the data in the closure, which is nice. This might be a very common pattern though. And the only thing that's going to change is what you do with this when it's done, which is, I guess, why you would use map. You can use some, let's see, if your data can be owned by the closure, then you're fine. You can use map. All right, and in this case, what are we going to do? I'm going to copy this. Oh, we'll just copy it this way. By exposing lock, let's see, what was the problem? The problem was mutex data map. Let's see. I don't know what to say there. See, by using mutex data map closure, I'll do something like that. Okay. See, how's 5 doing? Oh, good, it passed all the tests. I don't think we're going to have an issue on anything else, but maybe Clippy. If I butchered something in there. Ooh, inline for method, yes. Yeah, the idea was that, yeah, the closure was capturing the data, and I don't know, when I'm doing like networking and something awful happens, like you get an error and you want to return the data back, I don't want it to be like a clone. I don't want to have to allocate again just to give you back what you gave me. So I like avoiding that, even for errors, even if they're not supposed to happen very often. Especially when it can be avoided. Okay. So in this case, or was it here? This needs to be in line. All right, let's give it to Clippy again. Oh, silly Vim. Ah, it didn't actually take that long. That's good. Trying to multi-thread an audio synthesizer. Oh yeah, there's some interesting tools for seeing if you're allocating. I've never used them. but maybe someday. It seems like one of those, you know, premature optimizations, but just avoid copying is pretty obvious then, yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, status. Where's our message? Here's the message. Copy that. Go to 5. Commit GD native -m. Enter there twice. Paste that in. Close the quote. Enter. Aw. Can't do it that way. Status. We'll do that in the PR. Diving into flame graph. Oh yeah. that thing is pretty cool. Used it a little bit on the game server. Was it the game server or something else? Forget exactly. Give that a push. Whoa, don't do that. I want like a dark version of that. I have like a... Oh well. All right, now back to here. So we can go back to our message. Copy that again. Set in here. Go to preview. And just a quick sanity check. Let's make sure. Now this moved up from below. All we really did was wrap these in OKs. To be honest, I did what Clippy told me, and I'm not sure I like the result. Would I rather capture that in a local and return, or just have a whole bunch of OKs around these? Regardless, it works. I think I do like the... I know, and then there's the debate of, do you just wrap the whole thing in the OK? And some people hate that. It's like Vim versus Emacs on this. I just don't... See, I don't care enough on the style for this. I like more lines of code that can express intent. Right, so if capturing it out to a local helps understand it better, then it makes sense. And I think I missed that opportunity here. It is, and it's buried deep in this, so it's not like anybody's going to go trolling through there. Um, okay, we'll see how that goes. Back to the code. Close that. Well, that works for us. Now this is the part where that going off track a month ago ended me up in Godot native land, and now I'm back out of there, kind of, not really, but working on something that I'm trying to remember what I was doing a month ago. I think we were porting the GD script to this code, and we had gotten to the point where we couldn't send the types across thread boundaries, specifically in login. So in this case, we have login press. We still have a bunch of these little breadcrumbs here. But we weren't able to correctly send things across. And in this case, I still don't think we can. We might have to do this again down below. In this case, I was trying to do like a call deferred or something like that to make sure it's on the right thread. Because at this point, when it comes back, it's actually on the wrong thread. And we have to do a call deferred to get it on the GUI thread. So we can set text and do that. Hmm. I wonder if there's room for improvement there. Like, there's a way to automatically do that. What if, just brainstorming, not committing to any of this, what if something was getting called from the wrong thread, like set text? Wonder if it would be beneficial to call deferred for it. Probably not, but it would make it easy. I don't know if that's what's that trade-off? Let's see, because what was my goal here? I was trying to get this all in one line, all in one function rather. I didn't want to have to chain functions together. I wanted this to look more like Rust version of the GD script. Yeah, it doesn't feel rusty. Like you should be concerned about which thread you're on, right? All right, let's see if we can get this to fire an error. I think we're just going to hard code the result here. So So we can see this happen. All right, that'll freak out. That's okay. It's unreachable. Should still compile. Ooh. Owner can't go across threads. Control. Oh, it's not sync. That's fair. So what we should do instead is go back to lib. Wondering if this should be exported in a different way. Like this. Let's get node. This isn't really a singleton node, is it? This is just give me a node in the GUI. There's nothing about this that says it's a singleton. This is just a node path, getting a node back. Could use that. Because then in this case, oh, but the path on this is going to be a little weird. All right, Acton Dev, you take care. Oh, I've gone through having back issues as well. That could be rough. Nothing serious though, that's good. I hope it feels better. See, the thing that's getting me now is if we do it from the global space, we're going to have to include /root in it, right? And then the path is no longer relative to the node that it's called from. Let's see, where is, do we have GD script up here? Where are we? Oh, style guide. We want get node. That's not correct. It's just on, it's on node. Fetches a node. Node path can either be a relative path from the current scene or an absolute path. I wonder if there's a way to know what the current path is. If the path does not exist, okay. Yep, only works if it's inside the scene tree. Okay. So if we do that from the top level, see, does this have a path? I want to know if it already has an existing like a method for getting the path of the current scene. Get child, get parent, get node. Get path. It does. It returns a node path. Well, that's an odd underscore on there. It's underscoring the path piece. All right, so we could get the current path of owner and then append that. Okay. So if we said let error path is going to be equal to see absolute path of child. I don't know. Form error. So if we did something like that, then in here, at that point we could get that. We could also cast it and return a specific type if we wanted. Would be nice. Create node. We give it the error path. Okay, but our type is wrong now. That and abs path of child doesn't exist. Put that on node, node.txt. Let's say child path. What are we going to return there? That's going to be a node path. We also need self on us. All right. Let's see, node.txt should only be implemented for, let's see, it's implemented for node, but let's see, what is node? Node is of type object, and object is Godot object, isn't it? Yeah, it's a Godot object, and Godot object has what on it? Null new cast, so it does have cast on it, which is all I think we need for some of this. But where does get node exist? No, it has to be off of node, doesn't it? Yeah, okay. Just checking. Toss that down there for node. Should be able to get a path on there, and then What can you do with the node path? From stir, get concatenated subnames. What is that? Reference counter relative or absolute path in the scene tree. Can reference a node, resource within a node, or a property of a node or resource. Okay. That would refer to the size property of a texture. Got it. Node path consists of node names, subnodes, resource names, and the name of a property in the file or resource. Okay. So it looks like we can convert it to a string and then concatenate it. See, did they implement anything extra on there? No. Partially equal. So that's actually from a stir. That's fine. If we do from Godot string, then we should be able to do manipulations on that. Oh, that's right. There isn't anything to change those. Well, there is a 2 lowercase, but that returns a new one. Huh. Looks like we're going to strings. All right, so let's call toString on it, get that. Child path is going to be child path dot into toString. ToString on that path. All right, now we'll concatenate them. Get path probably doesn't include the slash. We probably need to include that. Actually, can we concatenate these strings? We can insert a character, and we can push onto it, and push stirs onto it. All right, so let's push a slash, and then the child path. See, and this doesn't return anything. Okay. That doesn't return anything. That's right. Needs to be mutable. I have this at the wrong level. I should be outside. So I have error path there. Cannot find function singleton node. Yes, that's just node now. All right, I would like to combine that with the casting if possible. Delta unsafe function is unsafe. I gotta love it. I think I really wanted to do an invoke deferred. Oh, interesting. Great extensions invoke. I didn't realize that invoke deferred was unsafe. It is, okay. All right, let's run it. Long press task spawned. Didn't get anything though. Or is it 5, was it? 4? Oh, here we are. Should be able to send. Oh, it panicked. Extension's 41. Oh, I'm unwrapping one of those. Let's go back to login, or was it login? Here, this one. Okay, we'll put that back on in a moment. Close that. Get our login button going again. Actually, the little window's not showing up. There it is. Okay. Click login. Oh, gorgeous. Okay. I've got to take a screenshot of that. Hold on. I'm gonna go to Discord for a sec. All right, back to the code. going to take a look at some of these errors, these warnings. Okay, that's fine. This one, dead code never used. Ah, yes. On login connect. Okay, so what's actually supposed to happen? When you click do login, and this might not actually be the best code for that, but this connect message is not the best, because connecting also in this game involves logging in. You don't connect without logging in. In fact, the server will drop you real quick if the login packet isn't very shortly followed by the connection. The connection isn't very shortly followed by the login packet. So ideally, what would have happened up there is we would have taken the username and password. See, this is what I miss. I miss the yield. We would have taken the username and password, stuffed it into a login message, and connected plus logged in at the same time. And then we would have either the login error here or something else. A scene error thing, scene manager thing. I don't know what I'm going to do with the localization, because I do have some elements that are localized in the UI, like in Godot, and some that are now going to need to be localized elsewhere. Wonder if that's exported somehow in the interface. Probably call tr from somewhere. Let's say 5 object tr. Goodness, it is there. Okay, so I can continue to leave the localization in Godot and just pull the strings out as I need them. Oh, that's great. It looks like it's on object, like any object. Base class of most Godot classes. I think that's the case, isn't it? Like if we go back to Godot, let's stop that. Let's go to the script, go to help. Yeah, object is the very base of all of these. It's like the base of all the scene graph things, of all the managed types, not the ref counted types, the manually managed types. Okay, so in that case, I could get the strings out using that. Oh, this is lovely. Okay. All right, let's try to get that working. Got an hour? I kind of want to pull up the what the script looked like. Oh, here we go. Do I have foreground on that? No. NVim. Login.gd. So this is what it looked like before. And some of these elements have been extracted out into other scripts. Like this one I called like grab focus. I think that's what I call that script. Unhandled input. So if you hit escape, go back to a certain scene. Actually, I don't think I can wire that back up. So welcome should take us to login. Have a scene, login. And that's got a script on it. Which script is that? It's a login.tscene. Okay. Interesting. I can't have two scripts on there, which is fine. I think we just need to restructure this a little bit. Like, why is login on that and not on, let's say, form? Why should it be on the outermost piece? I think we're going to move it. Put it on the form. Does it have any signals wired up? Login, this one does. What's this one going to? This is going to do login. Okay, so that'll have to change. Click on that. Click on the little disconnect the script. Connect a script. We'll go find it. Let's see, up a couple. To native. Okay, we'll toss it on there, which means that our login signal has to change. Let's see, it's currently set to do underscore login, so let's do that again. But on form, do login. And I almost want to start changing these. Disconnect that. So that I actually follow this naming convention, make it nice and easy. I mean, it only works for some things, but okay, we're going to avoid that for the moment. So we have do login. Actually, out of curiosity, if we advanced, see this won't actually show us functions that are on there, will it? Oh, okay. That's good. Now on the control, we can attach a different script, which is up twice native. Is it scene change on key? I think that's it. Load that one. Here, go to the inspector. Oh, does it not have properties? It should have properties. Let's go look. Oh, that's the GD script one. 3? Okay, it's in 3. Scene change on key. Ah, that's why. And I wonder if there's another one we could set, because in this case it's always escape. And I wonder if we should have the scan code also be a value that's passed in. So instead of that, just key escape, be something else. All right, let's change that. What type is this? Global constants? Come on. Oh, they're just I64s. Key escape. Oh, wow. They're very large numbers. Key is going to be option I64. Actually, if that's can we go back? Is this a type? No. Probably not type alias here. All right. Because those aren't going to be enumerations either. Yeah. Okay. That'll just be an I-64, and in this case, just defaults on those. I thought there was a way to do that. To lead the rest of them. Dot, dot, comma. No? All right. Add a couple getters for that. Get key, set key. I-64 is going to be a little different. It's just copy. Ah. Now for setting the key, this is also going to be an I-64. Key into, fine. Okay, let's use this up here. Add property scene with that done. Okay. Key. Let's toss in the default, which is escape key. What's its value? Oh, just that. All right, property, colon. Intent? All right, let's go look at the hints. Enum hint, okay, range hint, hint property. It'd be neat if they had a key, some sort of key hint. What was this one with modifier keys? Oh, that's on an event. Oh, not very many. It's quick to look through them all. Possible hints for integers. Enum. We could put an enum in there, but I don't think that's right. Yeah, that's not going to work. Key escape. We'll just use that there. That's a better one there. All right, now down below, when somebody hits a scan code, if it is equal to whatever our key is, then we'll do that. Otherwise, we can just default to escape. No, let's not do that. Scan code is equal to key. All right, where are we taking scene out? Self, scene, sref, and then... Oh, I see. Yeah, using a combinator here. Why do we do that inside of and then? This is so that we can have the scan could be there along with that. Interesting. Isn't there an option on and then that? I don't know, I'm not really the fan of the combinator here. They should both be set because they have the defaults. Just give me 1 minute. I need to find a GIF. Almost there. All right, got it. And paste. Oops, that one might not be appropriate. All right. Okay. What else can we do this? We've got two options. Got the scene and the other one have to both be set. And option has some cool stuff on it. Option, I think we've got an and then. Returns none if the option is none, otherwise calls F with a wrapped value and returns a result. Two, and then nope, and then that. Oh, that's nightly. That's exactly what I want. That's too bad. All right. Because it doesn't look like the key can fail. I'm gonna move that out, actually. Oh, how many times did I get that in there? Ooh. Oh, I see, but now we're actually... Ah, the question mark there was doing something handy, wasn't it? Oh, how clever. Because inside of here, if we use a question mark, then it returns none and doesn't succeed. Oh. So what does a function signature of and then look like? And then option U. It's just the return value of the closure. I see. So in this case, I can say scene followed by key. The scan key self dot key question mark. Ooh, that is contrived. Gloriously flat though. How else could we do this? Let's play around with Rust for a moment. Let's say if let sum we could do a match on tuples sum scene. Then we just have to deal with the case inside where the scan key isn't correct. Okay. Oh, input key. Okay, we'll get rid of that. One too many parens there. Good. Got that. Input key. So we cast it to an input key event. The question mark's going to fail there. That's okay. So if the scan code, oh, that was called scan code, wasn't it? Is then going to be equal to key. All right. But that question mark at the end is not good. Am I closing one too many times? Oh, I am. There. Okay, good. Now these fall in. Let's see, what does cast return? Oh, it's an option. Oh, that's beautiful. We don't have to call into on it. So if these three things are true, oh, scan code. Fine. One word. Go to scene. That needs to be borrowed. Behind a shared reference. Okay. That feels a lot easier to read. Tuple deconstruction. Not bad, not bad. Okay. Now we have to restart Godot for this because we're changing this logic in here. All right, that should have built. Looks like it finished over there. Anything else we want to get on there? All right, we're getting to you, login. We're getting there. Out of curiosity. No takers yet. Okay, that built. We have to restart Godot for this one. Save everything. Project, quit to project list, which you probably won't see. Select the same thing again, and hopefully it comes back. There we go. So on the wall, on the login scene, now we have this here. Oh, that's fabulous. They must have something in here for keys and key hints. Let's see. Project. If we go to project settings, I'm guessing it's going to be like somewhere in here. Input map. How do these work? What about, because this is all done in Godot, right? Editors built with Godot. editor settings, if we have like keys in here somewhere. Shortcuts, here we go. They've got all of this support in here. So they must know what that is. All right, but if we're on the login and we need to go to a scene, when somebody hits escape, I think we go back to welcome. Okay, let's give that a try. We're on login. Oh, that went straight into that. It should have gone into welcome first. Bootstrap. Ah, it's taking us to login. It shouldn't go to login. That should go to welcome. Okay. There we go. We can hit login. We can hit escape. Uh-oh, that's not working. Do we derive debug? We don't. Can we? Looks like it. Okay. I'm going to be looking for the information down here. Oh wait, it's all none, isn't it? Because no, we set one of them. I'm just wondering whether or not for login, if this, like, which ones are the default? If this is the default, does that actually get set on the instance and become something or not? Okay, because we built that, we have to restart this. Legacy. Oops, wrong way. Oh, so that's good. That's the wrong size. That should be a little bit larger. All right. File system. Scenes, login. There we go. That looks good. It's still hooked up. Gonna hit play on that. It went nowhere. Bootstrap scene isn't set. How did that happen? Scenes, welcome, welcome, open. Did I not save that last time? Or is there a gremlin here somewhere? All right. Now we're here. We're gonna hit a couple more enters there just to see what happens. Okay. Hit back. Well, I hit escape. Got a bunch of those keys actually. And key is none. Oh. Well, I was hoping it would use the default. That means we should set the default here. Global constants, key escape. All right. I close that. Reload. These pieces are kind of like a little workflow where you have to reload Godot for this is not the best. Let's check. Bootstrap. All right, that's set, which is good. Okay. And if we look at login, those two are set as well. Play. Okay, there we go. So login. Escape here. Ah, yes, and we're back to login. Great. And that's weird though, is we got a whole bunch of these. Why did we get so many of these? That needs some debouncing. Let's also debug if it can do it, the event. Oh, nice. It will. There's probably something else that we're missing here. Is this a key up event? Is it a key down event? Key press? Probably not differentiating on that stuff. Oops. Come back in here, reload the project again. Okay. Log in, hit escape. Key event, input event. That is incredibly not useful. Okay, well, it's showing us what the pointer is, which in some cases is useful. Oh, in fact, we've been getting a lot of those for some reason. Oh, if I take my mouse and I drag it across the top bar there in the game window, I'm getting a ton of these input events. They don't seem to be key input events. It's probably fine. They're getting filtered out. I just didn't realize they were firing so often. Now let's look up input event. As text. Is action released? I see. And with this being unhandled, it's probably fine. We were what? We were casting that to an input event key. Oh, I see. And then if the cast fails, because some of those were mouse events. Got it. So we're actually trying to do the cast, and in some cases it's not a key event, so it fails there. That's good to know. So we can get the scan code with modifiers or just the scan code? All right, what does that mean? See, they have pressed here for properties. Get key code, okay. Why don't we see pressed here? Because there's is pressed. Hmm. So in the Godot documentation, they have this setter and getter, and in if false, the key's state is released. So we really only want to do this if pressed is false. Oh, I see. It is pressed. I was looking for get pressed, which then gets translated into just pressed. I see. Okay, so in that case, we can filter some of these out. And how far up does that go in this hierarchy? I think it's on input event. Is pressed. Okay, so we don't want this if the input event is pressed. Oh, if it is pressed, we want to return. The ref to an input event, is an input event ref counted or not? Yeah, it's reference counted. And if we have a shared reference counted object, where'd it go? Okay, here. It's not shared. It's interesting that we have to call assume safe on that. Because later we just cast it, don't we? Okay. Actually, I'd like to move the cast up above. Because if it's not this, I just want to bail early. So we're going to match on that. And in the case of none, turn some key. What are we getting there? Is that just the scan code then? Let's leave event on there. It's more clear. So input key event scan code. Okay. Only handle key events. Okay. Now let's fix the tuple. There we go. Get rid of the last little bit there. Now scan code. This is actually a scan code. Get rid of that. Do we have one too many of those? Yes, we do. Oh, that looks even prettier. All right, let's toss scan code in there. Okay. Back to Godot. I'll give that a stop. I have to restart Godot. Back to the project list, does it? Okay. Let's run that. Of login, good. Gonna hit. Okay, if I drag the cursor on the top bar, no more events there, that's good. Oh, interesting. Is that it's saying that that's an unhandled event as well. If we look, just typing that and then backspacing. But it only does it when I release the key, which is nice. So if we hit escape in there, we come back here. We don't get a ton of them. We only hit one. That's good. I'll show you again. Come in, hit login. Okay, so we got the scene change, 2 events there, but that's fine. Hit escape. I'm gonna push and hold it. Nothing's happened yet. I'm gonna release it. It goes. And now it moved. Actually, how many did we get? Did we get more than one that goes up? Let's try that again. Paying attention. Okay, there's nothing in the terminal yet. Holding it down a lot. Hit escape. We Got a lot of those. Why did we get so many? Scan code. Is the scan code all the same? 217, 217. Looks like it. Odd. Wonder why we got so many. My USB hub? I don't know. Well, I was hoping that would actually solve the problem of needing to debounce these go-to scene issues. Let's see, what should go-to scene do if it gets two of the same thing in quick succession? Or is there a way to debounce the keys? Yep, lots of different subclasses. Accumulate, interesting. I'd never really thought about this in GD script. It was probably happening the same way there. Well, we could debounce that with a timer. Fire something off. Where would we want that? In scene manager? All right, we'll probably figure that out tomorrow. Oh, let's see. What is Adam doing today? Is he doing Rust again? No, doesn't look like Rust. All right, we're gonna raid Adam anyways. He gives hosts sometimes. All right, y'all. So next time we're gonna keep on actually porting. Where is it? Where's the terminal? We'll keep porting some of the GD script to Godot. Some of these little things that I hadn't realized that have been going on inside of GD script revealed themselves. So we'll have to figure out how to do a debounce on key events. So let's see what else. Yeah, and then just probably going through, seeing how far we can get. Might actually be able to make a login. Everything's kind of out of the way now, which is nice. It's kind of lining up really well. All right. Well, until next time. Bye-bye.